Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Elizabeth, and oh my god, 3,000 views in the last 28 days. Really love your work, guys. I think it's fantastic. This video, however, is going to take a little bit of a turn in a different direction. We're going to take a listen to a podcast just to get to know me a little bit more and to learn a little bit more about my collection and what happened with my Dame Elizabeth Taylor Shades of Violet, my book and all that type of stuff. So stick around and listen to the podcast that's coming up, broadcast by Joy Radio, a gay radio station in Melbourne, Australia.
This podcast is brought to you by Australia's LGBTQIA+ community media organisation, Joy. Keep Joy on air by becoming a member, a subscriber or donate. Head to joy.org.au. Joy, a diverse sound for a diverse community.
David and Sue always keep listeners informed.
Oh, what's the weather like? Oh,
Terrible.
What's the traffic like?
Bad.
What's the time?
Late.
Friday Drive on Joy 94.9.
Now, his old friend of ours,
He's an old mate.
been in, 3 times probably, I think it is now?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that old, David. I was going to say congratulations on your 9th year too, by the way.
Right, thank you. So we've got Wayne here. Now, Wayne is a major collector of Elizabeth Taylor.
A little obsessive.
Bits and pieces. We've got a pair of boots
Oh,
here,
my
which
God.
are amazing, with all diamantes around their black suede boots with diamantes, rings of diamantes going up the boot, and a handbag. And there's a beautiful handbag, a satin handbag with a handkerchief in it with Elizabeth written, embroidered onto it. There are so many amazing things. So, Wayne, when did you start collecting all this stuff of hers?
I've been collecting since about 1984, but of course back then it was all like postcards and scrapbooks, and I guess it wasn't until about maybe 1995 that I started to get into personal stuff. I wanted to have that connection.
Oh, well, you certainly got it.
And you've got wigs. And,
wigs, yeah,
and
wigs.
and wigs that then got the photo that you know which wig it is. But she was aware that you were a collector too, wasn't she, when she was alive?
Well, she signed off on the collection a few times, and there are a couple of items in the collection that were donated from her personal wardrobe in Bel Air. So she knew who I was. I was a collector of all things Elizabeth, and she knew about that.
Right.
And she liaised with you, didn't she? Like, you send notes or calls or something every now and again?
For over 20 years. Birthday cards and Christmas cards and the odd note here and there. So I think at one time I wrote her a letter around the death of her mother, and I got coincidentally at the same time one of my partners had passed away. So she wrote me this, really lovely note saying, thank you for thinking of me at your own time of loss and all that type of stuff. So pretty special.
That's amazing.
And there's beautiful dresses as well. And you've then got the People magazine where she wore it on the, and she's on the front cover of the People magazine, and you've got that dress.
Yeah, well, I try to match, David, everything I've got in the collection. I try to match that with something because it adds to that provenance.
Yeah.
Because people always say, oh, sure, that's really hers.
But then you see it on and you go,
It's not grandma's, that's for sure.
and this one here is just crazy. It's so...
much taffeta.
Yeah, so much. Now, why you're in today, apart from talking about this wonderful collection, you had a book about 10 years ago, it would have been. Oh, no, 8 years ago.
8 years ago or so. Yes.
But now you've redone it bigger and better and bolder, and and it's being released around the world, this book.
Yeah, well, a strange thing, I was on holidays in New York about 3 years ago, and I've actually got a photo of myself with the number 14 Wall Street in the background, and coincidentally, number 14 Wall Street is the publisher of this book. They rang me and said they wanted to add it to their portfolio of work, so they've redone the whole book. It's magnificent. I'm getting really good reviews, actually.
Well, you should. I strangely enough, about a couple of months back, I went to my little bookshelf thing, saw your book, and I went through it again. And it just made me feel so good looking at all of the photos over the time, and they're just beautiful.
Yeah, well, this edition's been updated because obviously I did it to stop collecting, but that didn't work.
Did it?
No, that did not work. So,
yeah.
there's about 100 100 extra pages and heaps of new things there.
But you bought also in, like people will take photos of this and put it up on social media, what Wayne has bought in. But there's a beautiful silver tray. Oh, and then there's this magnificent necklace and brooch and a couple of brooches. Wayne, you must have spent so much money.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I don't like to talk. I can't talk about that. Yeah, I have, but you know what? The reward is tenfold with whatever I've purchased anyway.
And it must be such a thrill for you because now to have this book that's being released around the world, it just must make you think it's been worth it to get to this point.
Well, it is. You're right, David, because every time I get a comment, and I'm getting inundated with comments and things from different people all over the place, all over the world, different parts. It's nice to know a part of me is actually living with them in their home. Like I have a lady who says, it's on my coffee table. She's in Germany. It's not leaving the coffee table. It's staying there. So, it becomes a topic, and who's this person and what's this book about, and that's the whole essence of doing the project.
Yeah. Now, for those people who are listening now, and as you know, we're giving away prizes because it's
won't be this collection.
No, it won't be the collection. It's our 9th anniversary, and you, our wonderful listener, are getting the prizes.
So the tray I'm holding was it looks like a massive ashtray, so it would be at least 30 by 30 centimetres as a silver tray.
Yep.
And it's actually inscribed with Elizabeth on it.
Oh my
And it was
God.
used when she was 40, in her 40s, living at the Casa Kimberley estate, the love nest of Richard Burton and herself. So
Richard and Elizabeth would have had little cities with this.
Imagine the amount of cigarette butts that would have piled onto that.
Oh, because they were
the
big smokers.
conversations that would have gone on around that.
And the arguments they would have had.
Certainly, I bet it's been thrown around a few times.
Yeah,
It has got a couple of dents in it.
Yeah. So that's
How hard is it to find stuff?
Initially, it is quite hard, but I think once you've been a collector like I have for the last 30 years, you get to know where to look, and people sometimes contact you just out of the blue and ask and say, well, I've got a friend of a friend who's got this, do you want it? So a lot of auction houses around the world sell celebrity memorabilia. They just give it to them anonymously to sell and sometimes raise funds for different charities.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And because she was really big on charity work, wasn't she? And especially her AIDS work.
Hugely, yeah. So I think towards the end, her private collection was auctioned at Christie's towards the end there after her passing, and raised over $600 million for AIDS for the AIDS charities.
$600 million.
Yeah. Wow.
And there is a legacy page too, guys, in the back of the book where people can. There's a few links there where people can make a donation to an AIDS charity if they choose to.
Oh, okay.
As part of her legacy, that's what it's
You're carrying
about.
it on. She's very happy with that.
Yeah.
Now, you have exhibited. It was down at Gasworks, wasn't it? A couple of
Yes, it was. Yes,
ago.
yeah.
And there's even some photos of that in the back of the book as well. But you've got leopard skin coats of hers, and it's just extraordinary.
I want to go to your house.
You've got. Have you got a whole room where it's just her stuff?
We are looking at a B&B sort of room. I have got an Elizabeth Taylor room, which is all shades of violet, as you could tell, and there's a few cases that are decked out with little pieces in there. But my partner doesn't let me to have. I'm not allowed to have too much, Liz, in the house. It stays in there. If it starts creeping out, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. So, what? And you're thinking of doing an Airbnb?
With the room, with the room. But I was probably
you wouldn't
tossing it up.
Don't trust me with it.
The bond would have to be too high.
I don't know.
Yeah. Wayne, brilliant. This will be available as a podcast for people if you're just arriving and you haven't heard the whole podcast, so it will be available. One piece with these extraordinary bits that are sitting around us now. Is there one piece in your collection? Is there maybe a dress or something like that you want to say is your very favourite?
There are lots of favourites, but I reckon I actually bought the dress. I think that could be my favourite.
Have you bought a dress?
It's actually a costume from Cleopatra from 1963.
What?
So it's embroidered. Obviously,
oh my
embroidered
God! I
on the
remember
front.
that dress.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's probably it's old and it's quite an antique piece. So
but hold on, you just had it rolled up.
Yeah, it actually needs a steam, to be honest.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm going.
Wow.
It's got her name embroidered on the inside now.
Has it?
Yeah.
Wow. This book, people, so if you want a copy of this book,
Pass the dress, darling. Pass the dress. Pass
Shades
the
of
dress.
Violet by Wayne Griffin, please SMS or email or phone us now, and you'll go into the draw to win one.
I'm running out of the studio and putting my membership number in.
Just one last thing. I was going to marry Sue actually tonight.
Gosh, I've become a celebrant. Can I borrow
It's
that?
a replica of her $8 million diamond Richard Burton diamond ring.
Oh my God!
I've never been speechless.
So try that on and get the feel of
my God,
what it must have been like.
Wayne, you're amazing.
Oh my God!
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
for coming
guys, for having me on.
He's amazing. He stops you talking.
You're on Joy.
Oh yeah.
94.9.
Friday Drive on Joy 94.9.
Thanks for checking into my channel today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the podcast. Take care and see you next time.